always, the thing is, man, when it comes to founders, we always hear the good stuff. All right.
Everybody wants to hear a happy story.
Yes, and
everybody wants to feel motivated. But if you show them the dark side of things, it's also entertaining, but it's probably very discouraging. Five, four, three, two, one. Rony.
Muhammad.
كيفك?
تمام. انت what about you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Habibi. And I always start off by telling people to do their own introduction.
My own, okay.
So I think it's better if we do it that way. What would you like to be known as, or who is Rony in the eyes of others?
Interesting. So I'm a founder of a startup. It's called Founder Connects. It's a community where we actually help founders come together in order to tackle challenges together. And as well, I've launched another program for the youth here, students in universities, in order to teach them, on so many things related to the startup world.
Yeah.
And previously I had a startup in the US as well.
Nice.
And basically it was a marketplace where we helped musicians get more bookings.
Oh, wow. Okay. You still have it?
No, that was last time. That was like a year ago, where I transformed into something else, into another startup. And but it was I was in my previous startup for like about 5-6 years.
Oh,
so
wow.
It was
Okay,
a big part of my
time.
life. That was a big part of my life. And now I'm on a new mission, basically.
Now you're the founder of founders. You're the founder of founders. So basically, so you, if anyone wants to find founders here, they come to you.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a very good way to put it. But yeah, look, I'm basically on a mission, because look, Mohammed, the founder's journey is not an easy journey at all.
Not at all, trust me.
And I'm on a mission where how can we actually somehow reduce these challenges so we can increase the chances of success. This is number one. And number two, on a mission to really tell the world about that, the journey isn't as easy as you think. It's as simple as that.
Every time I think about that and I think about the journey, as you mentioned, I actually remember my dad's story. And God bless him, when he started this construction company, I think it was 2005, yes. He had 5 kids to take care of.
5?
Yeah, and he sold the only asset that he had, which was his house in Syria, to finance the capital for his new venture. And at that time, I don't even think he had a project secured. So
he had 5 kids when he actually took the risk.
Yes.
Wow, man.
Yes. And
wow, that's not an easy thing
exactly.
to do.
And then I think about that, and I think about like the crazy risk, because I don't think I can take that risk, honestly.
So which number are you?
I'm the middle one, so I'm number 3. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So have you seen a lot from that specific journey?
Because he started in 2005. I joined him in 2009, and I stayed with him up until 2021 almost.
Nice. Yeah.
So trust me, when you talk about founders, startups, entrepreneurship, I've been through it all. Yeah. And grew the company from a very small size to a very large company. So it was a journey. I understand. So trust me, I appreciate everything that you do and all the help and the support that you're extending for the founders here in Dubai. And honestly, you've created a very nice community.
Yeah, no,
how many members are you guys now?
Right now we're 297 members inside, and all in the UAE.
297 in the UAE?
297 in the UAE. Okay.
Oh my God, wow. And I didn't realize, I knew
you're
doing well, but I didn't realize it's that big.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, every single member has, they're busy with their own thing at the end of the day. But we're 297. we're growing day by day.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that most of the members are giving us some positive reviews about this.
Okay.
And but look, we're learning a lot from you guys as well. So literally, our members are our assets as well.
Yes.
In order to optimize the community in a way that really benefits you in the most possible way. Because the more I can benefit you,
the more value
the more
you can add.
value we can add.
But my question is, what made you come up with this idea?
Cool.
Because I'm sure it didn't come out of the blue.
No, not at all. So basically, I was when I was working on my startup in the US. All right, look, we were doing well, and we raised money. Okay, but we faced a lot of ups and downs, like any startup. And within this period, all right, where I was going through these ups and downs, I was actually joining a lot of communities in the US. And when I joined these communities, I was like, you know what? I wish I was actually part of these communities from day one.
Okay.
Because I could have saved hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I could have saved a lot of time. And
because as you were doing it, you're learning it by yourself, and you were paying the price for all the mistakes.
I was learning a lot, all right, from these members, and literally it could have saved me a lot of money and a lot of time.
1000%.
So, and there's a lot of things that, Muhammad, you do based on assumptions, and because you're the founder, you tend to take these risks, and you obviously have these, this excitement that allows you to take these risks.
And it blinds you also sometimes from seeing things that...
in a clear way. But the thing is, it's not just about the actual blind itself, but your excitement will make you believe that, you know what, this should be the correct way.
Yes.
Or maybe, that assumption should work, why it shouldn't work.
Yes.
Right? So speaking with other people that already have, went through this journey, could definitely help a lot, and that's the whole point, right? So I was raised here in Dubai, so I kind of knew what I wanted to do next.
So you came back?
No, actually, my co-founder was in the States. I was based
you were always here. Okay.
I was always here. That's why I tell you I sleep very, very, very late.
Okay. Because you got used to the U.S. time.
I got used to the U.S. time zone. So I used to be here. You all were sleeping. I was, working during that time because I had to work with the U.S. time zone.
It actually probably worked out in your favor because everyone else is sleeping, so there's zero distraction.
Oh yes.
Zero distraction.
I love that time, man.
The wife and the kids are sleeping, all your friends, so you no WhatsApps, no emails, nothing.
Yes, believe it or not, man, I love working at night, all right, as you said, zero distractions. And till today, I got used to that kind of routine, and till today, I work till like 3, 4 a.m. And because I was raised here, I knew what I wanted to do next. I was like, okay, you know what? That's what we really need here. We really need, a community that provides, a space, a safe space, right, for founders in order to tackle challenges together. And at the same time, us trying to help in so many other ways, such as, doing intros for you, connecting you to other founders, doing some events that brings you, instant values and a lot of other benefits. Inside the community. So, and that's how, the community kind of formed. It didn't take me long to, I kind of knew what I wanted to do even as my next startup, even while I was working on my previous startup, because I thought of this support system as a need that we require in the UAE and hopefully in the region. And the thing is, man, when it comes to founders, we always hear the good stuff. We always hear the good stuff. Like
because the good stuff sells.
The good stuff sells, all right.
Everybody wants to hear a happy story.
Yes, and
everybody wants to feel motivated. But if you show them the dark side of things, it's also entertaining, but it's probably very discouraging.
Yes, but all right, if we show the reality and then put a framework, all right, in terms of, the best first step is this, the best second step is this, I believe more founders will be able to taste a bit of that success.
Yes. And I mean, very unpopular opinion here, but I don't even think that entrepreneurship is for everyone.
No, not at all.
And I don't even think it should be for everyone. Yani, what I'm trying to say, let me just put it in other words. With all of this, all of these people and all of this garbage of people trying, oh, you need to have your own business, you need to quit your 9 to 5. No, you don't.
No, it's not for everyone, man.
It's not for, no, you don't.
No.
Because some people just don't have it in them.
Yep.
And some people absolutely fine doing what they're doing, and they can be absolutely fine doing what they're doing,
Sure.
and they can have a family and raise them. Khalas, this is how these people are programmed and functioned, and
Yep.
it's fine.
It's fine.
And if it works for them, it works for them. But for you to put pressure on others to do things that may not necessarily work for them, it works for you, but doesn't work for them, is also wrong advice.
Yep. And vice versa is true, by the way. Like a lot of people that actually, you know, or they have their own, you know, jobs, and they go like, you know what, isn't it time to go with something a little bit more stable, right? So then you go like, yeah, but have you, you know, it's okay for you not to be an entrepreneur, but it's not okay for you, you know, to tell someone with that mindset, with that specific mindset, you know, just to choose something that is safer maybe, or more stable. Yes, it is more responsible, okay, at a certain period in time, especially if you have kids. But the mindset of an entrepreneur is the mindset of the entrepreneur,
Yes.
you know, and if you don't want to be an entrepreneur, it's okay.
Yeah, and
That's
not
so
just
simple,
that, but like you said, people that haven't gone through that experience, but I did, you did, but others that haven't really can possibly downplay and underestimate what comes with it, and the prices that you have to pay, and the sacrifices that you need to make.
Yes.
And this is really something that people should think about, especially in a city like Dubai, where it's cutthroat. It's cutthroat. You've got the best of the best from all walks of life in every domain, concentrated in such a small geographical space.
Yes.
It's crazy when you think about the amount of talent per capita here. It's insane.
Look, Mohammed. Look, this is number one. Whatever you just mentioned. But all right, it's, you know, the country still has a lot of space for innovation.
Yes.
Still has a lot of space. All right. They provided us with a beautiful infrastructure that allows us to be more creative.
Yeah.
Right. So I would hate to see myself not being able, you know, to give a chance for my mindset. Look, I've done my first startup in the US, all right, like one of the most mature markets, and I tell you, we are as innovative here. All right, we are.
I agree.
You know, we're doing extremely well, and really, this country is providing us with a lot of important bases. Okay, in order to give you space to be creative.
And I think it's actually easier to set up here as opposed to the US or to. I would say I'll speak on behalf of Canada because I know the Canadian market quite well. I would say it's probably easier or as easy.
Yeah. Look, it's as easy when it comes to
as
US,
easy.
all right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we have talents here. I think we still have a lot of space.
Yes.
And the vision of this country, that's what gives you more space too, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not about just you having a vision, but the country with you is working in
Yes.
parallel with you. They're having their own vision in order to create more space for you.
Yeah, and most of the time, because even in my field, like in construction and real estate, you rally behind the government, right?
Yeah.
So because you know that these guys here put their money where their mouth is,
Yep.
you know, you take the risk.
Yeah,
You're like, okay, these guys have skin in the game. We'll go into
Definitely.
whether it's a new development or it's a new area that wants to start up or because it's, you know, construction is very capital intensive, right?
Yeah.
So nobody wants to put money in an area that's going to be a ghost town.
Very true.
So that's why the government here, the local government, they are very good at leading by example. So they'll go in, they'll invest their money first, they put skin in the game, and then, you know, they expect the rest to follow.
Look, I could have easily done my current startup in the US. All right, there's already a market for it. There's already already a lot of communities there, right? So it would have been much easier for me to open there, all right? Because the people there, they know the game, they know the importance of communities. Unlike here, community is still very fresh, by the way. We're still, trying to teach, that specific culture, the value of community. So it would have been easier for me to open there. So if the UAE wouldn't have given me that space or that infrastructure, I wouldn't have simply opened here. But that trust was there, so I didn't even think about it twice. It was like that's where I want to do it. I want to do it for founders in the UAE.
But bro, your growth is crazy. From in 1 year, 297 members.
Yeah, look,
I mean, you really downplay your success here. Honestly, hats off. That's
again, that's
300 members in 1 year. That's really good. 300 members in 1 year, and your business model is on a subscription basis. So that's very good.
Yeah.
That means 300 people are very happy.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, all right. I think me staying till 4 a.m. working is just paying off. Right?
Paid off, huh?
So, but yeah, look, I tell you that my aim is, just to talk it, talk it how it is. Basically, I don't, I wanna be real. I wanna keep it real because I really believe, like the more they know about this journey, it's not about them being afraid of taking, jumping on the wagon and taking that step. Maybe they would actually jump, on that train now being, or at least with some knowledge. Yeah. So therefore, they might have more potential of doing better. Yeah. So I'm looking at it more on hopefully by being,
that guy that made them get from point A to point B.
By talking about the truth about the journey, all right, might help to create better success. I'm not trying to make you afraid of that specific journey. On the contrary, it's a beautiful journey, but it's just hard. That's it. Yeah. All right. But there are steps that you can take in order to reduce your challenges, in order to reduce, the risks and all these stuff. Yeah, it's as simple as that. But if I come out and we just talk about success, and then you're hearing it all over the media, this person is successful, and then you go like, yeah, you know what? It seems easy, and then you get yourself into it. You go like, what the hell just happened? Why I'm not being able to succeed? Is there something wrong with me?
Yeah, you start getting self-doubt.
Exactly, right? Yeah. And that's why, by the way, in the world, there's the depression is increasing. It's the anxiety, all these mental health issues are increasing because really all what we've been seeing is about people making it, but for instance, not you or not that specific person. So
honestly, I know a lot of people online that have made it in life, but trust me, it's not as rosy as they make it sound, and it's not.
True.
If anybody that's watching this clip and watching this podcast, I highly advise them to read a book called Outliers. Yep. Right, by what's his name, Malcolm. The author. But anyway, the reason why I think they should read this book is mainly because he talks about how people didn't get where they are just like that. Yeah. For example, Bill Gates, I forgot, was it Bill Gates, or he talks about the other guy, the Dell guy, one of them. Okay. I forgot who it was. I think it was Bill Gates. But some of the top tech guys from Silicon Valley back in the day, that he had already been brought up in a good neighborhood with good parents, good income, and had already started experimenting with computers from a very young age. And by the time he reached the point where he could start Microsoft, I think it was Microsoft, yes. Because I keep getting mixed up. He
was 16, by the way, when he started Microsoft.
There you go. He had already 10,000 hours of programming.
Okay, maybe
approximately,
it is him. Maybe it is
plus or minus.
Actually, maybe, I think if I remember correctly, it was 14 maybe, or something like this.
So I think he eventually started it in his 20s, if I'm not mistaken. So he had already 10,000 hours worth of programming. He estimated the amount. And then he made a statement in the book. He's like, if you spend 10,000 hours doing something, you're already a master at it. Khalas, you're done. You're here and the competition is here.
Yeah.
So the point that he was trying to make is that it's not like Bill Gates is this magnificent, one of a kind
just worked hard.
entrepreneur.
He
He was just at the right time, in the right place, with the right skill set, in the right environment, and he did it.
Yeah. Look, going back to this, all right, sometimes I love how we all say in the right time, or in the right place, or in the right whatever it is. And sometimes, like, I know success stories that they weren't in the right place, for instance.
Yeah.
For example, the founder of Canva, all right?
Yeah.
She
That's
did
true.
it from Australia.
Yes.
But she just packed her bag, all right? And then she just flew to Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Why did she do this? Is because she had a specific mindset.
Yeah.
She had the mindset of...
But she's also an outlier. That's exactly the point. She's
true,
also an outlier because you've got the outlier that I mentioned, but you've got the other aspects. What you're trying to say and what I'm trying to say is exactly the same thing. These guys are outliers. And it's just appreciating that there are different spectrums to the story. Exactly. But then again, like you said,
but that's where the mindset as well comes in, right?
Exactly.
Like you cannot become that specific person if you don't really really have the mindset in order to become that person that you want to become.
Yes.
So if that, I forgot what, Melanie, I think her name was Melanie, something like that, founder of Canva. So if she didn't have that mindset and the risk, and honestly, the balls to really take that step, she wouldn't have flew, to Silicon Valley. She wouldn't have raised that amount of money. And then we wouldn't have, Canva the way it is, the way we know of it.
I love Canva. I use it a lot. I honestly think you're right. And I think every man and woman always have a few very specific moments in life where they know they're onto something. Yeah. And in hindsight, they look where you're like, shit.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's not easy. Yeah, or maybe I should have taken that opportunity, or maybe I should have. Like you said, it's not easy, but in hindsight, they look at it and be like, yeah, that was one of those light bulb moments that I should have capitalized on.
Muhammad, you know that I don't have anything like. I think one of, and I'm not saying for everyone to do what I did, all right, because sometimes there is a big risk tied to it. But I don't feel like I have that point of, I wish I did this previously, because I actually took that step previously for the sake of me not going, or growing up and saying that I wish I had that thing previously. Sometimes it just, in my head, like, I go like, no, you know what, I don't want to grow up and go like, I haven't took that step, or I haven't done anything about this specific topic. And sometimes it becomes like my mission, right? Yeah. That's the reason why I'm saying that, don't do whatever you want to do, or whatever is in your head, because sometimes risk is tied.
Yeah.
But I kind of analyzed all the risks that are tied with these stuff, with the steps that I took. I try my best, not to leave any certain regret for later on. Yeah. It doesn't mean that every single decision that I'm taking are actually turning a right decision. Yeah. But it's just that, I took it.
Yeah.
That's it.
But if you, I'm going to ask you a question straight. If you had to pick the perfect age, or not the perfect age, the right age.
The right age, okay.
To start a business, taking into consideration everything that you've seen so far and all the lessons that you learned and all the 300 members that you deal with. Yeah. What would you say is the perfect age?
The perfect age? Every single year of your age is the right age.
Yeah?
Every single year, man. Because I know a lot of people, they started at an age of 55 and they've done amazing because...
We've got founders at 55.
I think I never ask about
Actually,
their
you
age,
do.
but, right?
Actually, you do.
I
I
don't know
bet if
about.
you, I'm not gonna yani, say how old they are, but yes,
I
they
don't
were
ask
pretty.
this question, all right?
Yeah, but they were definitely above 50.
But I think, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not about age, man. It's just not about
Yeah.
age. It's just about that step that you need to take. It's just some people they wanna they wanna explore things. Some people they have a certain mission in life. So I think every age is fine, to launch.
Yeah, that's true. My dad
to launch a
started at
startup.
55. Yeah.
55. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But if I had to answer the question, I would say mid 30s, late 30s. Mid 30s.
But
And
because you
why?
feel now it's correct, right? But answer that
I
same question when you're 55. Would you still say the same? Would you still have the same answer?
No, yeah, maybe you're right, but I also think that men in general, specifically men, I can't speak on behalf of women, but men, I feel like they reach the best wisdom and the best perspective on life during that age, between mid 30s to 40, approximately.
That's true. That's true.
I think they really peak in terms of their potential, their wisdom, their ability to really read the room and read the scene, and knowing exactly how they can position themselves. Because when you're young, you're a bit hasty, you're a bit
still
careless.
have a lot of successful young founders, right?
True, but I was just about to say that. It doesn't mean that you can be successful. But
Right.
I'm saying that you
Right.
could actually be super successful and you really could work out for yourself. But in terms of risk mitigation and just
Definitely. I mean,
It's-
the more you grow up, man, the more you're going to be able to know how to deal with.
obviously,
with
and
every
because
single thing.
you're younger, so your risk appetite is much higher, so the reward is probably much higher
But
too.
if I want to really answer that question, I would say before having kids. That I wouldn't give you a number.
There you go. I think that's the answer.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
that's the answer.
because,
Or I would add to that, marrying the right woman.
marrying the right woman.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah. I mean, look, definitely it plays a huge role marrying the right woman, but just before having kids, because kids alone, is a huge responsibility, and it adds to a lot to your life. So therefore, all right, in order not to miss that opportunity of giving them as much as you want to give them, so maybe it's better if you want to give it a go or a try. It's a good time, before you get kids to just give it a try.
So from those 300 members that you have, how many are in tech? How many are in
Most of them,
this, that?
around 96% or
96% are in tech.
Yeah,
Wow.
tech focus. 96% are tech focus, but we just we became known as the community for tech founders. And we just there's a lot of interesting people out there as well that are not in tech, and we didn't really want to limit that knowledge inside our community. So we because there's a process to be accepted to join our community. So it's not like right now you just pay and then you just get in.
Right.
All right, you go through
It's curated.
Exactly, you go through a specific quiz and then you jump on a call, and then after the call, if you pass the call, this is where we actually send you the payment link. Although that's extra roadblockers for us to convert people. Yeah. But we care about the quality of the people. All right. So we just we know it's an extra roadblock, but we just care about the quality.
Yeah.
So so sometimes founders are not in the tech industry, but we realize and we discover that they have a lot of valuable knowledge where they can actually add to the community, and then them learning from the community. Yeah. Because a lot of non-tech people are very keen to understand how they can do some digital transformation to their own businesses as well.
Yes.
So that's why we can.
We're just talking about it. Like for me, I never thought could actually get in this space, but for the first time, I feel like my field, construction and real estate, is at a convergence with tech and tokenization and crypto and everything, and the digital transformation of the entire, the whole world, khalas, like it's just, I feel like the digital transformation is just going to happen on all aspects of life. I'll tell you a crazy story. The other day, I was with the guy that we just met outside, Yaqub. We were at his farm. I was with this guy that's just was overall loud and crazy and everything. And he's, you know, you can tell a guy has potential just by the way that he behaves and when he starts talking. So I was like, for me being the curious guy that I am, I'm like, yeah, let me pick this guy's brain. Wallahi, ya Rony, this guy showed me something. It blew my mind. So he's a founder of a tech company also. But what it does is it gives you a full diagnosis, almost not a full, a diagnosis of your overall health just by pointing a phone at you.
True. We have,
and I told him,
we have people, by the way, in the,
I didn't know, but this is
it's
what
insane.
it was. And then I told him, and we tried it right there and then. He pointed the phone at a fat guy, and we were trying to see what's the deal with him in terms of his health. And it gave accurate answers, and I'm like, but this is not what, just from the phone looking, at just with the phone pointing at me, we're like, how? He's like, because your face gives out specific pigmentation and specific, let's say, things that the phone can detect, and it shows what's happening inside of you. And I'm like, wow, like this is unreal. It made me think of two things. It made me think of how much we advanced in terms of technology exponentially in comparison to the few years that passed. And also it made me think from a spiritual point of view and how sophisticated this body is, that just your face can show sign of diseases or health. No, look, it's unreal. It's really unreal.
Look, the thing is with innovation is these 2-3 years, all right. It's, you know, it's insane, you know, what we're going through. And honestly, I feel lucky to be part of it.
Amjad, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We do have, by the way, a couple of members that are actually working on something similar.
I wanted to give the floor to you to tell me more about it. I didn't know this.
The thing is, I don't know about I'm not an expert in terms of, you know, when it comes
how they do it.
In terms of, you know, the medical aspect of it. Okay. All right. But I've heard, you know, their story about, you know, one of them, the camera scans your full body, and basically according to your body heat, it has, you know, plenty of formulas and there's a huge algorithm in order to detect whatever they want to detect. Okay, so that's when it comes to the technical part, explaining it in very, very short. I'm sure it's way more complex. So yeah, there's plenty of technology out there, all right, that are trying to reach a certain or solve a certain challenge that we never imagined. Okay, this challenge could have been solved in that specific way. Especially today, when you grab a camera or your phone, when you grab a phone and you just put it, you know, towards you, in order to really read your health. Okay. Now, how accurate it is, that's something for them to tell me. All right, I'm not I'm not the expert in that. But it still blows my mind. You know, it's still an innovation at the end of the day. So imagine how accurate it could get in a couple of years down the line.
And especially now, because the computing power, like we said, is just increasing at an exponential rate. And again, like you said, we are very lucky to be here in UAE because of like the amount of focus and money that they're putting in AI. It's going to change everything.
Yes, it will. And even the decisions, the advice, whatever it is, will become better, because assuming, for example, such technology will allow doctors, for instance, while you're sitting at home, all right, to give you a more accurate answer. So the technologies will help us, you know, do better, become better, all right, and do our job much faster. And basically much better. So I think, you know, the technology is evolving, especially when AI launched. When AI launched, I feel like the world just changed. We were living that life, everything was growing, you know, the growth based on our expectations. But when AI hit shelves, everything changed. Now we can do a lot of stuff that we never imagined we can do.
Yes.
And
it's like the other guy, one guy mentioned, it's the other day, sorry, one guy mentioned, it was on my podcast, it's like for the first time, we might actually see a one person, billion
dollar unicorn,
company, one person unicorn.
I think it's like a challenge between these 1%. They're like, yeah, we're going to see that one person building a unicorn.
I mean, I can see that. I can definitely see that. I can definitely, because like you, I've been spending a lot of time on AI and I can see the potential of it.
But I hate when I discover these tools at like 12:30 at night, or 1 a.m. I go like, nice.
Oh,
but then I realize like I'm in bed at like 5, 6 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. Right? It's a slippery slope because then it just doesn't stop.
I love it, but I hate it. But I just, you
got used to it.
I just can't, not
yeah
test it. No, I think FOMO is real for me when it comes to these
tools. It definitely is. But like going back to your members and startup, which one sticks the most? Which one really makes you think and be like, oh wow, what a startup? I know it's hard for you to sort of pick, but like, let's say, okay, if you really want to be diplomatic,
but I'm going to give you basically the profile.
Give me a profile, give me a domain, give me something.
Look, at the end of the day, all right, the way we're helping these members, all right, to tackle challenges together is we put them in something called founder squads. Okay, these founder squads are mastermind formats. So we do masterminds together, 10 founders per group. They meet once a month for 90 minutes virtually. Okay, wow, and then you come in. And
once a month?
Once a month, all right? That's, of course, other than all the other benefits that we provide inside the community. But that's the hero that we have. That's what most our members are really enjoying. So what we tell you, Muhammad, come in. Once you come in, all right, inside this mastermind, we need you to make sure to come in with a problem that you're currently facing, because you're going to have the rest of the 9 people with you on call trying to solve that problem with you. So therefore, these 9 people, a lot of them probably have went through the problem that you're going through right now.
And resolved it.
So therefore giving you advice, giving you recommendations, and telling you exactly how to resolve it, and not just advice in terms of theoretical advice. So, and then that's how we go, across all the 10 people, because with that, it's like your personal, advisory board where you're advising to.
Nice.
So, in most cases, these founders after the call, all right, or the mastermind, we, every single founder, they have a specific mission in order to solve that specific problem through the suggestions that they've received. Okay. Now, why do we do this? Is because simply founders, they go through, I've said it last time on a podcast, so they go through a lot of isolation.
1000%.
There's a lot of stuff that you cannot share as a founder because you don't want to concern that specific circle that you're sharing with, whether it's your parents.
Not just that, but you also don't want people to, you want to have confidentiality over your business and your idea.
Assuming it's something that you can share, all right? You still don't want to share it because you don't want to concern them, like in the case of your parents, in the case of your partner.
Yes, okay.
You know what I mean?
Like, now I know what you mean.
Yeah, so basically there's a lot of stuff that
very true, actually.
That you just don't want to share, and sometimes even with your team, right? So why your team? Again, for a positive purpose, in order to keep them motivated, in order to keep the energy high, in order, you just don't want to concern them with things.
It's very lonely at the top.
Okay, so it's very, very lonely. And I've sat with CEOs and founders that are, that have raised more than $40 and $50 million, and they tell me, the success. And you've said it right now, a couple of minutes ago, like, sometimes it's not very, very bright at the top. So they tell me it's very, very lonely. Okay. So that's where these masterminds, they come in order to put people, all right, that actually on the same level as you are. So if someone's in Series A, we're not going to put this person, all right, with someone in pre-seed.
In pre-seed, yeah.
So we kind of match them in the correct group, okay, in order to hopefully have this person get the most value out of this group. So yeah, like you're talking with people that actually are going through or went through the journey, that you're going through, and people who get it, right? And people who will not become concerned for you, like your partner would.
Yeah. So people, okay, let me phrase it maybe in people that will look at it from a very emotionally detached way.
Yes, exactly.
They're not emotionally invested.
They're not
with you.
emotionally
So
invested.
they're gonna give it to you straight up.
Straight up.
No bullshit.
Exactly.
No filter, and then they're just gonna keep you accountable.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, and that's what that's why most of our members are loving these founder squads.
Well, that's great. That's amazing.
So one, we're reducing the isolation that you're having as a founder.
Yes.
Two, we're helping you tackle these challenges with other people that are actually get it and been through it most of the time. And three, it affects big time on you. In terms of a positive effect,
Yes.
on your mental health, the stuff that you're going through.
Yes.
So there's a lot of positive stuff that really happens and occur,
Yes.
because of these stuff. So that's why.
It reminds me of, sorry, you know why I laughed? It's because it reminds me of something that my mom or my dad used to say. It's a saying in Arabic, بيقول لك الجنة من دون ناس ما بتنداس. Basically, it's kind of the same. Like there's no point in being in such a beautiful place alone. Sometimes there's really joy in being part of a community.
And being part of people that gets you. That's the point, man. It's not about, like, we're not putting you with other people. We're not putting you with any people. We're just putting you with people that gets you.
Yeah.
As simple as this.
And they're willing to help unconditionally.
Yes.
That's the
Plus
beauty of it.
you sign an NDA once you get in. So therefore,
nice. Okay.
So therefore, it's kind of,
you're protected.
You're protected.
Yeah. And let me ask you this then. What's the craziest story that you've heard? Like from the founders? Something that really sticks to your mind and be like, shit, really, this guy is in deep trouble.
Look, I wouldn't look
not
at
saying deep
stories,
trouble, but like really complicated. Something really complicated.
I'll tell you. So you just fixed that right now, right? But we never look at a story in terms of a trouble, because it's our job, all right?
To resolve it. That's why I fixed the statement
to
a bit.
resolve this. But all right, I was surprised, okay, how much founders sometimes don't know things. I expect founders to know a lot.
Yeah.
I expect them to be updated with everything that's going on, with AI, with literally everything. But that was the thing that actually kind of surprised me. Not a story, a specific story.
Yeah.
But I was surprised that there's a lot of founders that are not up to date with what's happening today.
Give me an example.
Like, for instance, a lot of AI apps that can do a certain thing, for example, that can build you these platforms. Another thing is, if you want to do email marketing campaigns, people still think email marketing campaign, or I'm not going to say all the people, but I heard it from many founders. Okay, so I'll just take a list and then I'll send them one by one. I'm like, that's what we used to do 15 years ago. All right. So you would still be surprised with this knowledge, especially because you're a founder, and especially sometimes you like.
Yeah.
The thing that even surprises me even more, whenever they build something really good, and build something nice, all right, but yet they have these questions. I'm like, how were you able to achieve this, right? If you're asking me that question. Yeah. So, but that's the reality, all right?
It is.
A lot of founders don't know everything, and that's.
You know what? Sometimes what I call it, it's horse vision. You know why?
Horse vision.
Horse vision. I'll tell you why. Because sometimes when you don't want to distract the horse, what do you do?
You put
these, right? So this is what happens, I think, to some of the entrepreneurs and some of these founders. They become so hyper focused on like that 20-30% that they're so good at, which is important. That they really kind of overlook the 70-80% that's remaining. Maybe it's not as important as the 20. That's fine. But because they're so hyper, and it happens to me sometimes. So what you're saying really resonates, because sometimes that happens to me and I'm like, shit, how did I not know this? oh, why did I even think about this? Or
Yeah,
how did I overlook this?
But Muhammad, have you launched your own startup, or you just helped your father building the business? Because
No,
they're two different things.
yes, that to be honest with you, to put things in perspective, I helped my father.
It's different.
Yeah, but I also started, like, how can I say,
It was already established?
subsidiaries
Okay,
under
okay,
it.
okay.
But
But
obviously,
the
it's so
business
much.
was already established.
Yes, but
Okay,
it's so much
that's another thing.
easier. But it had its own profit cost center, etc.
Okay,
So
all right. But look, when you're speaking about an early stage founder, all right, usually
Yeah.
early stage founders, they tend to do, like, I'm sure you always hear it, they're usually the customer.
Everything.
They're everything, right?
One
The
man
customer
show.
support, the social media experts, the CEO,
Yeah.
the CTOs, everything, right?
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of these early founders, they tend to know a lot of things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you would expect them to know.
So you would expect them to know. You would expect them to know. So, but yeah, I mean, in terms of a crazy story, I haven't seen that story that really, it just kind of triggered me and told me, like, what the hell is this person doing? But it's just, I was surprised with that, some of the lack of the knowledge that some
Yeah.
members have. Not all,
Yeah.
again, not to generalize.
And it's fine if they don't. At the end of the day, you're a human being, man. You're not perfect.
True.
You're not gonna be able to. I mean, just the fact that you took on the risk to build a business.
That's a great milestone. But at the end of the day, look, you're doing something in tech.
Yeah.
All right. And come on.
I think it's just. I think it's because you're such an AI geek that
you're doing things in tech, like you're doing a tech startup. There is some basic stuff that you need to know,
that you need to know. Yeah.
So that's it. But look, again, all these stuff, by the way, you learn them in like an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I mean, you could ask ChatGPT to teach you about ChatGPT.
Yep.
So that's the thing. It's like the other day I was, sorry, I had a guest on my podcast. He's like, you know what's gonna come after AI? I'm like, what? He's like super intelligence.
Yeah.
I'm like, give me more. Tell me more. Tell me what's now. Now you've got me hooked. He's like, when AI is going to generate its own AI. That's when it's going to get really interesting. Then you know what's going to end up happening to us? Then you're going to end up in a movie scene from iRobot. You remember Will Smith?
Oh, yeah. What a good movie, man. Back then, what
Yeah.
it was like a 15-year-old movie.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just...
It just got stuck in our heads, right?
Exactly, because now we look back and we're like, shit. We might actually
we might actually be in the movie soon, huh?
Yeah, you know.
Look, man, I love it. I know that there's a lot of complications that might come our way.
Big time.
But I just, love that phase. I want to enjoy that phase because I know that you can be creative in ways that you wouldn't have been able to, without AI. Let's be honest. Okay.
1000%.
AI just boosted our personal creativity by, I wouldn't even say 10-folds, 100-folds maybe.
And every time I have a conversation with anyone on my podcast, somehow we always end up talking about AI. It's just entered our life in almost every aspect. It's insane. But let's try to talk more about Founder Connects and you and the great things that you're doing. What do you think is really the greatest value that you're bringing to, if you had to put it in one sentence, to the market and to your members?
So basically the chance, all right, to tackle challenges with people that understands the journey and get it. All right.
Yeah.
That's something that was, really important. And when I look back at this, when I built my first startup, I actually wish I had this.
Yeah.
Because I sat like for about two years, and I had a team of, at a certain point I had 15 people. We were generating revenue, we raised and all this.
Yeah, 15 people is not a small company.
It wasn't a small task, but I just wished I had, because I was a first-time founder, and there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know. The stuff that I actually know today. But if I had the chance to have that kind of, personal advisory board telling me, oh yeah, Rony, by the way, this is a great idea, but we tried it and it didn't work. There's a lot of great ideas that you come up with, and they just don't work.
Yeah.
As simple as this.
Just for many reasons.
For many reasons.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I'm talking about strategies here.
Yeah.
All right. I'm talking about like specific strategies within your startup. Whether the strategy is related to your, motivating your own employees, or whether the strategy is related to marketing, or whether your strategy is related to anything. I just wished I had someone just to tell them, guys, this is what I'm thinking of doing, that specific strategy in order to motivate the team. Let's use it as an example. Yeah, Rony, we did this. We actually, saw it backfiring, for instance. But that's great, man. That's great knowledge.
Yeah,
I could have saved that.
you saved me hundreds of thousands of dirhams and the hundreds of hours or thousands of hours.
And maybe the opportunity, to have things go really bad as well, right? Like if I wanted to really motivate, if I thought I'm going to do this and motivate the team and it just didn't end up working, that might...
Because you're either going to lose your own money or your investors' money and your credibility.
So yes, all right, there's a lot of stuff that at stake. So therefore, all right, having such, an advisory board, and look, I had an advisory board. I had, board of directors. So, but that's when we started growing at later stages. But imagine you just at a very early stage, you just have some early founders. They might have like one advisor or maybe two advisors, which is a good thing, by the way. I always recommend having advisors. All right. But
usually more senior, you would advise.
Way more senior, yeah, definitely, because they need to know, to give you the right advice at the end of the day. Yeah. But I just love, seeing founders sitting together and real founders that, that are actually still trying to crack things together because it's more raw.
Right.
Man, the conversations are very raw.
Yeah. Do you attend any of these meetings?
Oh, I'm always on the other side. I don't moderate these meetings.
You don't moderate?
I don't moderate.
Okay, but you're listening?
No, I attend. I'm one of them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, I love that.
Wow. Okay.
I love that.
But that's a lot of meetings.
That's a lot of meetings. But first of all, I really want to try my product.
Right.
Okay. This is number one. Okay. I really want to see, how does it feel me being the user?
To be one of those.
To be one of the people that are actually part of the masterminds. Two, I really find these masterminds helpful. So therefore, I start tending to share what they're sharing too. So and it kind of gets weird because I'm kind of speaking about the community which they're actually part of. So but I just want to be. Look, the thing is, in order to get value, you have to be open. You have to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that these are the user of my community, but at the end of the day, the product is all about getting value. So therefore, I open up. Okay, and I become honest about what's happening with the community.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I enjoy them. I enjoy these masterminds. And I tend to make sure that I'm always part of the members side.
Yeah.
I can moderate them. I can, because I created the framework.
Yeah.
I created the moderation framework.
All
what I had to do is train these moderators. So therefore, I can moderate them. But I just, I chose the other side.
Amazing. But on a scale of 1 to 10, how, and 10 being the hardest, right?
Yeah.
How hard is it for a startup to raise funds in Dubai? It's $1 million question everybody wants an answer for. And you, out of all people, can give the best answer.
Look, the thing is,
a tech startup. Let's be specific. A tech startup.
It doesn't matter, man. We don't want to blur this topic with the word tech, because a lot of people think if you're in tech, you're gonna get that funding much faster than. No, it's not about this.
Okay, it's just startup.
It's just about if you're creating real value, real traction. All right, you do have definitely more potential than people that don't. Okay. So, but creating that traction and that revenue and whatever KPIs that this specific or potential investor is actually looking for is no easy job. Now, going back to your question, it is a hard task.
So it's not as simple as people think.
It's not as simple as people think. Okay, but
even if it's a small amount.
Even if it's a small amount, unless this specific angel investor somehow trusts you.
Or believes in you.
and believes in you. Because at the end of the day, when you're raising at pre-seed, all right, you're the most important asset of the startup.
You are the only asset.
For the investors, you're the most important asset. They're investing in you. They're not investing because you don't have a lot of traction so far. You don't have much to show. You're just having a vision, an idea that you're showcasing.
Very high risk.
Very, very high risk. So therefore, if they actually opt in to invest, they're just, pre-seed, usually they just invest in you. That's it. It's simple. Okay. And that's why it's not easy, man. So that's where you have VCs that invest in early stage. It's not an easy job. Angel investors, a little easier, I can tell you. Because an angel investor, in a lot of cases, they might know you already. It's just someone that has money, okay? They might know you, they might believe in you, they might trust you, they might know your history, they might know whatever it is, all right? So they might take the leap and invest in you because in a lot of cases, angel investors, not only they care about the return, but they care to be part of this mission.
Yeah.
Whereas VCs, they have certain returns that they have to achieve.
Right.
Because they raise money too.
Yeah.
So if they can't achieve, let's say, 10x, then they can't get in with you.
Yeah. And then they want equity in that company. So
of course, no, they're investing based on equity at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But let's assume that your startup, they don't see your startup being able to achieve, let's say, 10x. Actually, 10x is low for VCs. Like they look sometimes 20 to 100x, to 100x pre-seed. We're talking about very, very early stage. Okay. Yeah. They might opt out because they have their own KPIs internally in order to make a return. Whereas the angel investor might go like, you know what?
It's his decision.
It's my decision. I don't mind, I don't care about the 10x. I like 5x.
Yeah.
I believe that this startup will create 5x. Yeah. I like it because I like the mission.
You know why I asked you this question? Because I sat with a friend of mine the other day, and they have a big family office here. And he told me, man, listen, startups in the Middle East region, it's not what it used to be. That's his take, and you feel free to comment on that. It's like it's just becoming too difficult to exit. Yeah. So he was saying that if we invest, it's becoming too difficult for us to exit after, because they also probably want to invest so that they can exit, right?
Yeah. Look,
some of them might not be interested in staying. Maybe they want to stay in the business for a bit, but they want to sell their share after.
I think he's referring to either an IPO, all right, because if you're an investor and you want to sell your shares, you can sell when it's still private, all right, but there's a whole process to it.
Yeah.
And then you have to offer your shares first of all to the company itself, and if they don't take it, then this is where you have to find this investor. And sometimes there's a lot that goes through this process. But in terms of an exit, it's either that specific startup went into an IPO, okay, or it got acquired. So these are
definitely not IPO, because for him it's IPOs even here.
Yeah. When it's private, you can still exit.
Very hard.
Look, when it's private, you can still exit, but it's about you finding a specific investor to come and buy your shares. Basically.
Exactly, that's exactly what he was saying. It's not easy to find those kind of people.
Yeah, look, the thing is,
as opposed to the US, for example.
Look, it's not easy. All right, it's not easy. Even in the US, it's not easy. Now, yes, in the US, there's
more liquidity.
There's a much mature framework in the US. Yeah, okay. However, here in the region, we still have some steps in order to get there. But here, I sat with one of my friends as well. They're part of a very big family here, and he asked me the same question. I'm like, I'm not looking at the UAE just in terms of the UAE, because if I'm gonna look at the UAE just as the UAE,
that's what he was saying.
Then it's impossible, all right, to create an IPO. It would be too small. Let's put it that way. The startup would be too small, just for the UAE market. Okay, we're talking about tech startups here.
Yeah. And IPOs here are very stringent. It's not easy here. It's very, very tough, especially in the UAE. The requirements are very high.
Obviously, there's a specific process, all right? And I'm sure there is
the threshold is very high.
An IPO is not an easy thing, all right? Even in the US, it's a very strict process. It's not like, in the US is much easier to just go.
But like you said, it's a more mature market,
right.
so
but look, the thing is, if you change your perspective and start looking at the UAE as in the whole region instead
as a base for the world,
exactly, instead of just the UAE alone, then I think this is where the opportunity would start shining more. But eventually, we need support. Definitely, we need support from the governments. All right, we need to be able to make it easier in order to, expand into other countries. Because look. To be frank, man, the only reason why the US is because it's a huge market.
Right.
It's a huge market.
Yeah, of course.
And they've been in the game for a very long time, so therefore their system is mature.
They know it inside out.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's mature, yes. But it doesn't mean we cannot get as mature, a couple of years down the line. But we don't, even if we get as mature, we don't have the population that the US has.
Yeah.
Unless we look at the region. As a one country, as a whole, then this is where things might change. But going back to your question, it's not an easy task to raise money, even if you're in the US. But sometimes you can, you can get creative too. You can get creative, especially when you're at an early stage. Today, raising funds is not just about only from VCs or only from angel investors. There's a lot of people that do crowdfunding, for instance, right?
Yeah. What's that company called? There are two here. I think one of the Eureka.
Yeah.
And the other Beehive.
Beehive. I never went into the details of Beehive, but Beehive has some. I think Beehive gives out certain loans based. I forgot exactly how it works. But I think, because I crowdfunded in the US. Okay. And just out of crowdfunding, I raised $500,000.
That's a lot.
It's still live, by the way. If you check my website, all right, you can still see it. So crowdfunding is very, very early here. It's still untapped. For some reason, they're trying to make it work. It's still not picking up traction. But I believe that there's a huge opportunity here, all right, to open up the doors of crowdfunding, because in the US, crowdfunding has become another main investment stream to these startups, because not all startups, man, can raise from VCs or can raise from angel investors. If you're good enough, if you're valuable enough in terms of creating value at an early stage, and if these people really believe you, a lot of these crowdfunding, they happen raising money from their own clients.
Yeah.
Okay. So these clients, they go like, no, I really like this service and I really believe in it. So yeah, I want to invest in you, but I don't have, $50,000 to invest. So therefore, I can invest in the SAYS, for instance. It can go as low as $100. So, there's plenty of opportunities. It's not easy anywhere, man. It's just about, look, I've raised for my previous startup. And for this startup, I decided that I just want to focus. Raising, by the way, is a whole.
It's a different ball game on its own.
Raising, man, you need to be 24/7 working at it.
Crazy.
Like sometimes, whenever I go through a raise in my previous startup, I just can't wait to just close that raise and go back to work. You know what I mean?
It's like those memes that you find online.
It's so
all
hectic.
These tech founders, once they secure their first fund, it's just like it's an accomplishment on its own. It's worth hectic. All the other. I didn't realize how hard it is.
So I took a decision for this startup that I don't want to raise right now.
Yeah,
I actually took that decision. I could have when I, took that step and decided to, raise a small amount. But I actually took that decision because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bootstrap it. This is what I want to do until I find product market fit. Once I find product market fit, then it will become much easier for me to raise
for you.
Better on the terms or on better terms, basically.
And you won't dilute yourself too soon.
Look, in terms of dilution, man, I don't mind, dilution as long as value comes in.
Exactly.
All
I was
right?
just gonna say if that comes at like you said, if the value is there, it's justified. If it's really opening up doors
Yeah, yeah. I
for
don't
you
mind.
that you could now have
Yeah.
done yourself, then yeah, who
Exactly.
mind?
Exactly.
At the end of the day, you want to be. You want to team up with winners, right? You
Yeah.
want to team up with people that hold your hand and
Like right now,
give you access to the right contacts or to the right
look,
opportunities.
right now I'm at a much, much better position if I decide to raise than when I started. Okay. But I
And
tell
maybe
you,
in another year you'll be even in a
yes,
better position.
but I tell you, if an investor comes in that I really believe that this investor
Can take you to the next level.
Can add 10x in terms of value.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I don't mind taking them on board, and
Okay.
giving a valuation that seems fair.
Or even discounted because you like the guy.
Yeah, look, value for me is more important than dilution.
Exactly.
That's it, basically.
Yeah. $1 million question. But first I'm gonna check on the cameras just to
Yeah.
make sure everything's okay. كله تمام مبسوط.
كله منيح.
Good. All right. Alhamdulillah, cameras are all good. Wow, can't believe an hour and 20 minutes already.
Already an hour 20 minutes?
هيك الوقت مر.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You have a lot of editing. Yeah.
مو هيك I didn't even get to طلع بس يعني
Oh,
obviously
shit.
شوف I
Okay.
learned one thing
Yeah.
is sometimes when you're just enjoying the conversation just let it flow.
Yeah.
ما خلاص don't force it. If you don't cover the questions fuck it.
صح.
Fuck it يعني at the end of the day it's more about the flow
the story,
than the actual
صح.
for it to look like it's just
Yeah.
فهمت كيف overly forced.
Yeah.
طيب, the $1 million question that I have for you, and be very careful with your answer.
يلا هلا.
What do you think is the next unicorn that's gonna come out of the UAE?
Oh wow.
And I'm sure you have something in mind.
Oh wow. Look, I'm seeing right now, because I have a program.
I have two in mind.
Look, the thing is, I have a program that deals with university students, and there's one topic that always comes up, and I don't know why this always comes up. I was so surprised that they're all interested in this. Can you guess it? Can you guess what it is? Any topic.
In the education field?
It's not in the education field. It's something personal, all right? Could you guess what they would like to build?
Give me more clues. Yani, try to help me out here.
Something personal, something about their calendars, something about... I'm going to give it to you. They're so interested in AI tools that manages their schedules.
Okay.
I'm like, why is it that hard
Exactly.
to manage your schedule? That's what surprised me. Like, I have so many students, whenever you ask them to come up with an idea, because it's part of my program to come up with an idea.
Yeah.
And then the next step is to build it.
Yeah.
I have so many students that they always come up with, I want an AI that can manage my schedule.
A student is saying this.
A lot of students.
But you're a student. What?
Not just student, but at the end of the day, look, these are the next generation, right? They're kind of dictating on what's kind of coming up. Yeah.
But that's crazy. They're students. Yeah. What more?
I'm like,
how much could you have? How
hard is it to manage your schedules? They're like, Rony, we have a lot, and we have to deal with a lot of stuff. I'm like, okay, great. We didn't have this much back then, all right? Okay, like I don't want to judge them at the end of the day, but we just, I don't think we have the same student life that they're currently having.
I mean, Gen Z is a completely different.
But it just, sparked my brain in terms of, like, wow, I never thought that, this could be an idea that a lot of students are actually interested in. AI scheduler that manages your calendar and that manages your tasks. And they want these, all right, to notify you by email and by SMS, all right, in order to tell you when to finish that homework and when to,
No
what's
way.
what's more priority than the rest. Okay. Look, the thing is, man, I don't know how their life is. So I don't want to, create a story in terms of like, that I'm just surprised. But I'm not surprised in a negative way. I'm just surprised.
Surprised how can I say?
You know what I mean? Like, because
For you never actually thought that this could actually be a concern.
yes,
You
exactly.
never thought
So
that
that's
this
why
could
it
be
was
a problem
surprise.
that people want to be fixed.
But I don't want to frame it in a negative way because I still don't know, like, okay, fine. You know what? A lot of students told me, like, we're not being able to juggle between everything. Fine. I have nothing to judge here, right? But if I want to compare it to my student life,
Back in the day?
back in the days, we never had that problem. So, going back to your question, it could be something that we never thought, would have been actually something so innovative or so big, something that is so simple could be the next unicorn. You know what I mean? Because right now, what we always think about are things that are, what is the next unicorn? It's going to be so innovative. It's going to be so complex. It's going to be, it's going to be so big. But it might be something really, really simple. This is what I wanted to say.
Yeah. And what's the largest valuation that you have from any of the companies that are in your community?
So I know one of the companies actually raised $40 million. Now I don't know.
$40 million?
$40 million, yes.
Wow. At what valuation?
I don't know. Honestly, I forgot.
But that's crazy.
I think that was like a year and a half ago. Maybe a year and a half ago, something like this.
Bro,
All right.
40 million.
Yeah, but look, they're in series. I think they raised it on Series B or Series C. Okay.
That's still a lot.
That's a lot of money.
$40 million.
Yeah. Now that's not.
I mean, stake, which is the fractional ownership.
Yeah.
I think they just raised $14 million. I'm just trying to put things in
Which
perspective.
series and what kind of revenue did they have? Look, there's a lot of metrics, man.
That's true, but I'm talking in terms of company's age, right? Because that company's stake is also a year and a half, 2 years.
A year and a half, yeah.
I think 2 years.
These people were been there and like.
This is the metric that I'm going by.
6 years, something like that.
6 years. The one
I think 5, maybe 6, something like this.
Does that really qualify as a startup?
It's a debate.
Right? I mean, that's what I'm trying to say.
It's a debate, and I think we need another episode for that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what defines it actually with start? Because
I actually spoke with someone in the States, or I remember when I called you and I was like, hey, look, man, I have someone really big coming on from the States. He has a startup. He has a startup of $1 billion. He's a startup founder of $1 billion startup. You're like, is it really still a startup?
We actually had this conversation.
Just don't get into that.
Yes. You're like, I have a founder of a $1 billion startup. I'm like, bro, what startup is worth $1 billion?
All right, look, so when we first launched the community, we were inviting a lot of these people in order to inspire a lot of our members. So he was actually one of them.
Yes, and we were supposed to do a get together.
Yeah. No, actually, I'm speaking about the $40 million guy, not the US guy, the $1 billion guy. So, but yeah, that's why he's part of my community basically, and I have a lot of people that are actually, that made it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Worked their asses off. Let's keep it that way. Sometimes whenever you use made it makes it seem simple, all right? But and they have a lot to share, so I get them in the community in order to inspire the others. And he was one of them. So I even had the co-founder of InstaShop.
Yeah, InstaShop is really.
So they exited at $360 million.
Yeah.
They were, I think, the first biggest exit before Kareem. Kareem exited at $1 billion or $1 billion 1.2.
Yeah, Kareem was the number one. There was the first unicorn, I think, in the region.
Yeah.
It was really a wow story.
But InstaShop, when they exited, it was the biggest in the region. All right, it was the biggest one in the region.
Wasn't it Tabi before? I think.
No. Tabi, it's now.
I'm trying to remember.
Tabi.
I don't know how old
Yeah.
Tabi is, but
But,
Tabi also
sorry.
reached unicorn status.
Let's just clear things up. The first exit of InstaShop, all right, was the biggest because InstaShop just right now did another exit like a couple of months ago.
Okay.
All right, which was at $60 million, something like this. Okay.
60.
60. All right. I think.
Why? How
I think
come?
Talabat bought them out from. Wow, I forgot their name. Rocket.
Rocket, yeah, could be.
Rocket something. I forgot
Yeah.
their name. Pretty huge. The
But
people
wait,
that
so
actually own
the first exit was how much?
360 million.
And now?
Now they exited at 60 million. Yeah, it's a smaller exit. All right.
How come?
Well, I honestly didn't get myself into the actual details, okay, but there could be plenty of factors. Maybe they didn't do as well as they expected, and I didn't get into the details, so I'm in no place to speak about it.
Interesting.
But yeah, I remember
difference.
that the exit that they just made was a $60 million. So there's plenty of people, man, that have a lot of knowledge that they can actually share. But yeah, man, like, you would be surprised. Like for you, it sounded really big, 40 million. Like, wow, 40 million? Man, the guy is lovely, man. You sit with him, he's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know.
So,
But going back to your comment about why me and you, I think, are always gonna forever have this debate: is what defines a startup? I think I have the answer. It popped in my mind, and I think I was thinking about it for a while. It's when you are still burning through cash and you're not really kind of like becoming profitable yet. So you're just kind of using the money for growth rather than profit.
But again, that's your own explanation, right? Which makes sense.
True. That's again, it's subjective to me. Yeah.
By the way, I gave up on this debate, just to let you know, because I was part of that debate a long time ago. But I was like, you know what? Everyone's right. Let's just continue on working. Let's just create value, and it doesn't matter. So, but yeah, I mean, even that $1 billion guy, man. Like I said with him, I was like, Muhammad, you would be surprised how much there are people in the world that are actually willing to share knowledge, help.
Yes.
And you would be surprised.
1000%.
You would be surprised.
And here more than anywhere else in the world, you will find.
Because it's a melting pot,
yes,
and everyone wants to somehow.
I remember these two kids that left Canada and came here. They dropped everything and moved here to start up their own social media agency. Yeah. And they said the access that we have to people here and the ease of getting to know the right, good, high quality people and the willingness for everyone to help here, it's because there's this kind of like unspoken rule amongst everyone here that there's enough to go around for everyone. Yeah. So you're not really trying to gatekeep anything. True. If you're successful, I'll become successful. If I help you, maybe you'll come around and you help me one day. And it's a small place, right? So you never know when you're going to cross path with people again. So you sort of always want to make sure that you kind of like, how do I put it in a good way? تحفظ خط الرجعة, to sort of like make sure that you're on good terms with everyone, as much as you possibly can. But I actually have a question for you. All right. Assuming you would want to open a startup, what would you think what would be the obstacle that's standing in your way, according to your assumptions? To my assumptions? Yeah. Let's say Muhammad wants to open a startup today. It's very easy. What's stopping Muhammad? It's a lot more difficult right now to get a startup up and running as opposed to back in the day. Why? Just because of globalization. Because I just feel like it's so easy for people to come and set up here. So there's a lot of talent, a lot of competition. So I would say it's just difficult. And I think now because of overall inflation, especially after COVID, you require much more in terms of capital to get an idea up and running, and I think you also need more time as opposed to before. Maybe, sorry, about time, I would say it's debatable because of the AI tools. It's also making things faster.
Yeah.
But I would say capital. You definitely need a lot more capital now than.
Okay.
Than you
Were
need.
you here in Dubai 20, 25 years ago?
No.
No.
I used to come to visit.
Okay. So I was here, all right, and whoever had to set up a company here, they needed to put a deposit of, I think it was like 350, maybe
Yeah,
something like that.
I remember.
All right.
Yes, yeah.
300, 350.
To open up a commercial
Exactly.
registry, you had to put 200,000.
Yes. All right.
But I forgot. But yes,
Just
there
to
was a
have-
bare minimum.
Just to have a license, there was a bare minimum, and
Yeah.
that bare minimum was pretty big.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like even today, if you go
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Muhammad, you know what, you need to just put on the side 350,000 dirhams from your money.
It's not a small
It's big.
It's an amount.
It's an amount.
Yes.
Today you can, incorporate here anything between 7,000 dirhams to 10,
Yes.
11,000 dirhams. Okay.
Yes.
So capital is much. You don't need more capital. You
Yeah.
definitely need much less capital. All right. Imagine 350 to 7,
Yeah.
11K.
Well, I was referring more in terms of salaries and just getting the people to on your team, but at least
But
the
again,
minimum,
that's-
the
but
basic team.
Again, all right. There's a lot of stuff that you can actually like. They didn't have, that access to a global talent
Yes.
pool back then.
Yes,
All right, they
that's
couldn't
true.
hire people. All right, from cheaper areas. Let's put it that way. And whereas today you can. Okay, but let's go. You said something really important, which is the competition.
Yes.
Okay, because I think that's the that point is the hardest point from all the others. Like even if capital was the reality, which is
Yeah.
not, all right, because you need much less today, but it's just about money at the end of the day. But competition is the real challenge here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when it comes to competition, all right, this is where it's all about bringing value on board. Okay, and I've said it on a podcast previously. I believe that we live in a world of building value instead of building apps. And don't get me wrong. People thought when I said this is about, minimizing the importance of technical people.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. All right. On the contrary, you need these technical people. You will never be able to achieve a complex platform without these technical people, even with all these AIs that you have. But you can achieve the MVP of this platform, okay, with not a lot of technical people around you today, with all these AIs and vibe coding and all these things, all right, all these AI platforms that are launching. You can literally come up with an MVP within a couple of hours, couple of nights, and you have your first version. Does this mean that you can just forget about the whole technical team? No. This means that you can at least test your idea.
Yeah.
Which you never had
That opportunity.
that opportunity couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Not 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Just a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You never had that opportunity before.
Yeah.
So today is much easier, all right?
That's true.
It's much easier to test out. So therefore, you're trying to test out, does my app adds value or not? It's so much cheaper now to test it out.
I think maybe, you know why? Maybe I should have qualified my statements. I think it's because my field specifically is very capital intensive, which is
maybe, yeah.
which is construction and real estate.
Okay.
Super capital intensive, and there's always a liquidity problem in the market. So even if you secure a project and it's profitable and you're making money, you're lucky if you get paid on time.
Okay.
Sometimes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, you're bankrolling the you're bankrolling the business out of your pocket. So not only did you need that huge capital to start a company, but also you're now financing it from your pocket because there's just a bad paying culture in construction overall.
By the way,
So that's why I should have been more specific, because I do agree with you. I believe that the business, overall, the idea of a business, the idea of entrepreneurship is kind of universal, whether 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, like you said, it's always the same basics, just there's plus and minuses for every time. But I should have been more specific.
Can I take you a step further?
Yeah.
I didn't ask you this, all right, in order to just understand the obstacles that you're actually looking at. I asked you this is because I wanted to show you the perspective, your perspective.
Yeah.
Because you're only looking at these obstacles. Because you just, out of a simple question, you just stated the obstacles.
Yeah.
So it's all about the perspective that you put yourself into, all right. And I was watching. I forgot who said this. Okay, someone was saying that if you're skiing, okay, and I tell you, hey, don't hit the tree, you're only going to see the trees.
It's like when you leave the house and I tell you, don't look at red cars or look at red cars.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
So the whole point of this is the human brain, all right, works against you when you mention these negative obstacles,
right.
All right? So therefore, if you're going, let's say you're skiing, I tell you don't hit the tree, you tend to only see trees and you see a lot of them.
Yeah.
But if you only focus on the slope down, all right, you're probably not going to see the trees anymore.
Yeah.
So therefore, you're not going to see the obstacles. So really, it drills down to the mindset. And that's what allows someone to open a startup. And you need a mindset in order to, be able to fight that specific journey, because it will help you out. And the way you put things in your mind on how you look at things, you might say, and you might be right. You might say, I need a lot of capital. I need because I'm in this industry. I need this. I need this. But right now, all what you're doing is you're putting obstacles in front of you.
Yeah, that's true. It's just, I think it's just because us in this field, we just developed this
you might be right.
Yeah, no, we just developed this very pessimistic feeling in general about the business, just because we have these shitty things that are always, let's say,
look, I totally
negatively
understand.
associated with our business.
Yeah, I think it's in a lot of industries, and not just your industry. I think, man, if you speak with an employee in every single industry, I think it's
because I remember like when I was with my dad in the family business, in the construction family business, bro, payments. You know what was my biggest nightmare? My biggest nightmare was not being able to pay salaries on time.
Yeah.
This was always.
By the way, that's our biggest nightmare too. That's startup founders.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have people that have families, and you just want to make sure you want to be able to pay them. And startups, they always live at that burn rate.
Yes, exactly.
And they just want to raise more, and so it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard.
And it's hard to balance it, because you're, like you said, you're burning through the cash to pay, but you also want to make sure you're growing, right?
Yeah.
So
not an easy thing.
It's not an easy thing, but like you said, and like others also said before you, the beauty is in the struggle. In hindsight, when you look at it, you're like, what a journey. Because if it was smooth sailing, everybody would do it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So that's the thing. But I mean, that being said, do you feel like you are living up to the members' expectations, or do you and knowing this about you, you feel like, you know what, I can always do more? What's the next big thing that Rony has in mind to sort of?
So answering to the members' expectations, I hope I am.
Yeah, right? I'm sure you are.
But
I'm sure you feel like you can always do more.
Yes, I always feel like I can
especially
do more.
at 12:30 at night.
I always like, what can I do more? What can I do more?
Yeah.
And
ask AI.
And
ask AI.
Look.
Like, listen, this is what I'm doing. This is me. What can I do more?
Look. The thing is, I learned that from my first time. All right, I fell for it. Okay, even if I want to do more, it doesn't mean that I just want to launch it. All right, instantly, because sometimes launching something new or a benefit or a product or whatever it is doesn't mean that you're actually giving them more value. Sometimes it's just they don't need it.
Yeah.
So I kind of learned on how to, understand what my members they want. It's a whole process that I go through in order to, build or launch a specific value that works for them. So do I feel yes? Do I feel like I can give more? Yes. Do I feel like I want to build it ASAP? Yes. But I learned how to manage this feeling.
Yes, you learn how to manage your impulses. I think. Yeah, because what was it actually? It was a movie director that went through the same thing. Was it? Was James Cameron, right? I think, or forgot who
About
was.
what, Avatar?
There you go. When he actually had that, because Avatar, when it came out, it
wrote it
was
like
one of the
10
most
years
successful
ago, right?
movies of all time, of the most successful movie of all time when it came out.
But he already had it.
But
10
he
years
already
ago.
had that idea 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Imagine sleeping on an idea for 10
yeah,
years.
yeah.
Like, how much of a visionary do you have to be to understand the right time for something?
But I think
And waiting and sleeping on it for 10 freaking years.
I know. But look, I think
Insane. When every time when someone talks about the same topic you just mentioned, I think of that movie and how this guy was able to control his impulse and wait on something for 10 years.
Look,
Knowing you would never be able to do that because you're like me. You're so.
I'll tell you something, man. I think it's, in my perspective, it is a bit different. I'll tell you why. Because I think he waited for that long, all right, because of the technology that he was waiting for in order to come up with such a movie.
Yeah.
I think if he had that technology, maybe he would have came up with that movie.
But the same thing can be applied to business.
No, for us, it's about if members want it right now or not. You know what I mean?
But no, I'm talking not. I'm not
about-
talking about members specific. I'm talking about just a business overall,
Yes,
an
but the
idea
thing-
for business.
Okay, here you go. But the thing is, whenever you're building for your users. You're not building just to build. That's the thing, right? Like right now, we can build something way more complex, way more powerful, but maybe our members wouldn't want it. Got it?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But for example, the reason why I mentioned this is because for me, I can give you an idea right now that I tell you is not the right time for it, but it's going to become such a big thing in 10 years. For example, virtual
you
reality.
Say now on.
It's okay.
What if it's the next unicorn?
It's fine because I'm not really interested in that field.
Anyway, it's not about the idea. Just
exactly. It's virtual reality, for example, for engineering and construction, right? Because with the phones being able to point it at buildings, right now you don't really get much value out of it. But as technology develops and with all the things and the tools that we use in engineering now, if you can point your phone at a building, it can start giving you the inside components and information of that building and in regards to facility management and just the overall health of a building that would have not been otherwise available 10, 15, 20 years ago because it requires really sophisticated type of technology and requires to be built in a specific code for you to reach that. But that's going to become 100% a big thing at some point.
Okay.
We don't know when, but at some point it's going to become a really big thing because...
It does sound really interesting. It's just, maybe you just need to test it out.
You just, and you don't, like you said, people don't want it now, right? Or people don't feel like they want it now.
But these are your assumptions. Look, it might not work, and it might work really, extremely well. But again, everything is an assumption.
Yeah.
Until you find these clients that you thought that, they're your potential clients, and they're going to come and tell you, you know what, it's not the right time. Why isn't it the right time? Because of X, Y, Z. Or they're just going to come to you and tell you, you know what, we don't care about this stuff.
Yeah,
they might.
Then again, you're right. I mean, if I look,
I'll give you an example, right, about complexity, which it was I actually went through that mistake in my first startup. You know that I actually built my platform for my first startup 3 or 4 times from scratch.
You built it.
No, I had the team. All right. So
why the hell?
I'll tell you why. Because I was a first-time founder, and I was actually before I raised money, I was actually funding my startup. So I hired a team. I was like, okay, great. Let me hire any team that actually, shows me a good CV, because I'm not a technical person.
Yeah.
And I was a first-time founder. I didn't really understand a lot of stuff. So a lot of people impressed me with their CVs, with whatever they tried to build. Okay, they showed me some
Yeah.
stuff that are built, but as a non-tech person, I couldn't really verify
How good they are.
how good they are.
Yeah.
Until
That
later
happens all the
on,
time.
I taught myself on how to verify this. But initially, okay,
Yeah.
I hired a team. We sat a whole year building it, and then it started crashing. And yes, we're trying to fix it along the way, okay, but so, it just works out in some places. I go like, finally, that specific thing worked
Then
out,
it crashes again.
and then it crashes later on, like after a month. So anyway, we sat a whole year, just building something that I couldn't go live with. I was like, you know what, let's just forget about it, scratch it off, and
Damn,
this is
that's
where I
so
started.
frustrating.
That's the beginning of the journey. You still haven't heard it all. So I was like, Rony, just keep yourself motivated. I was speaking with myself, just to keep myself motivated. I was like, don't give up. All right, it's a whole year. Yes, a lot of money, and a lot of time, but just keep at it. So I started hiring another team. Now I know how to hire better, much better.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hired a very good team, and then they built a really, really good platform, an amazing platform. It was so good. We beat, some world standards, all right,
Yeah.
in our platform. And it was time for me to launch. And before I launched, this is where I shared it with my friends. They were like, Rony, we don't know how to use it. I was like, what do you mean you don't know how to use it? Like, I sat a year, working,
Building it for you guys.
building something that didn't work, and another year building something that
new.
is great.
Yeah.
Okay. And the technology was great, man.
Yeah.
I didn't even imagine that we're going to build something that robust.
I think you overexceeded the expectations.
So they were like, Rony, we didn't know how to build it. So this is where I started speaking with advisors and community members and mentors and all these stuff. This is where I started getting into communities, by the way. And then these people, they were like, Rony, you can't build Facebook overnight. And what they meant by this is, all right, not building the actual Facebook, but you can build something very complex from day one.
And you can't get it right all the time. Sometimes it's trial and error. In your mind, you might think, oh, wow, it's amazing.
Yes, no, but it's not about just the trial and error. It's just about understanding what the user really wants.
Yes.
Okay, so that's why. And so imagine this. Imagine me building Facebook for you, all right? And you, as a user, you're already acquainted to a lot of tools and platforms that you just don't feel using another platform. And then once you sign up, you go like, wow, I don't feel like, going into this platform right now. It seems complex. It seems complicated. So that's why usually they start with an MVP.
Yeah.
So I can make it really easy for the first 100 people to actually join.
Yeah.
That's the point of the MVP. Not to make it easy only for you to join, but to really learn really fast, all right, from these people, what's making it, valuable to them and what they're kind of liking. Okay. So I can optimize really quickly. So I fell into that trap. Then I had to scratch off a lot of these great stuff, all right, that we've built. I remember when I told the team, because they really worked their asses off. So I was like, guys, I'm sorry, but we have to really remove 80% of that platform.
Oh my God.
Okay. So that's.
I would have hated you if I was. Oh my God.
That's like another 3-4 months of work. Okay. So and that's where, man, I started really learning that a lot of first-time founders they fall into this trap, and I call it, you're blinded by your vision.
Okay? Yeah, 1000%.
So you're blinded by your vision. You're really, really excited about your vision. So you tend to
overlook a lot of
stuff and build what's exciting you. Okay. Therefore, building that Facebook overnight, which is the wrong way to do. So that's why you have a lot of first-time founders. Man, I know a lot of first-time founders. I tell them, this is not an MVP. They go like, yeah, but it's going to work out. Excitement takes over. Excitement takes over. And I don't judge them. I fell into it. A lot of people fell into it. It's just, you know, the human
And sometimes
nature.
people, I always say this, sometimes people overcomplicate the idea or the execution that you don't really need to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes just a basic thing and a basic design and a basic it works. It just works.
Yes.
People want simple things. They just don't want something that in your mind thinks, oh wow, it can solve this, 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 and this. No.
And that's why, going back to your question, when you asked me what could be the next unicorn, it could be something really, really simple.
Yeah, I mean, I would not be surprised. Like, if when you think about it, like you mentioned Canva, it's just really solving a simple, we think is a simple problem, but it's actually a problem that everybody has.
Yes. No,
because
look,
you could have used, you could have used PowerPoint, but then she realized the limitations of PowerPoint, for example, and capitalized on that. We think it's simple, but it's actually a $1 billion company, you know?
I think the reason of the success of ChatGPT isn't just the AI itself, but I think it's just the chat interface. Because it got so simple to chat with that AI. I think it made a difference.
My ChatGPT is developing my attitude too, like in the way that it talks to me. So, wallah, sometimes I tell it like,
so now it's part of your life. It's part of your life.
No, not
do you
just
walk
that.
it? In the,
no,
in
and
the
then
weekend,
now, like ChatGPT also gets overexcited, and I'm like, yo, relax, okay? I was like, yeah, sorry, I got carried away. I'm like, listen, we need to calm down a little bit here, because it's like rushing into like giving. I'm like, no, it's not how we do it. We need to relax. Let's just take it step by step. I have another guy, another fellow podcaster. I was with him 2 days ago. Because he invited me to a podcast, and he's like, yeah, man, my ChatGPT, man, she's a bitch. I was like, oh, it's a she. He's like, yeah, like, man, she talks to me in such a bad way. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, it's you again. I'm like, your ChatGPT talks to you? I'm like, listen, you know why? I was like, it's because you like these toxic women. That's why. And like, you're the one that like raised, because ChatGPT is only what you,
I mean, why
what
the
you
hell
put
did he
into it.
create that character?
I think he just loves it. He loves that toxic, you know,
toxic
energy.
surrounding. Okay,
yeah.
all right, okay.
And I was like, bro, man. Even with this, I was like, if anything, you should probably want a normal.
So how much
person.
do you use it? Just like out of curiosity, how often do you use ChatGPT?
Do you want me to give you like a number, like hours a day?
Yeah. Do you use it more like than 3 hours a day?
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah, okay.
Easy.
Okay. It's part of your life.
Yeah.
It's part of your life.
Easy, bro. I mean, sorry, but if you don't, I'm with all due respect to anyone that's watching this, if you're not using ChatGPT at least 3 hours a day, you are going to be so left behind. And I'm not talking about FOMO. I'm talking about overall advancement in all aspects of life.
But what do you
Personal
use it on?
and I use it for.
What's your number one task?
Professional development, myself, like developing myself professionally, becoming more of a subject matter expert in my field. 1, 2, exploring potential business opportunities on how I can grow further in my field. 3, my health, my workouts, my diet, my everything in terms of my health. Professional development, managing my time, making sure that I have someone that's keeping me accountable in growth. That in this year I want to achieve this, I want to do this, I want to read these many books, I want to So it's like my accountability partner. It keeps me in check.
Okay, so you consider ChatGPT your accountability partner.
And my advisor and my let's say it's a lot of things. And like you said, it's very, very blessed and excited to live in a time like this, because otherwise I would have never had the opportunity.
It's very interesting to see the use cases of ChatGPT, how it differs between, all the people. Because, for example, I use ChatGPT in a very different way.
Really?
I use it to have it do work for me. You know what I mean?
I tried to see if I could do it. It's very difficult in construction.
Yeah.
Very
maybe
difficult.
That's one one
It's
thing.
very difficult. It's construction is kind of like medicine in the sense where it's really you are the asset, the human being is the asset, and your problem solving skills are ones that cannot be replicated easily because it's very character based.
Yeah, but sorry, I didn't mean replicating someone's skills in particular. All right, I kind of automate a lot of things.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I use ChatGPT to automate a lot of things. There's a lot of manual work that we used to do that now I just throw
But
at
it's because
ChatGPT.
we don't have in construction. There's not as much repetition.
Interesting.
It's not as much like every project.
But even in Excel, the Excel stuff and
Okay, believe it or not, a lot of it is repetitive in some ways, but they're never the same. There's always something different. There's always a
the
different
outcome. Yeah,
the outcome is always different. So it's hard to have a consistent
it's interesting.
way.
We should sit one day. I should look into this for you.
Yeah,
Maybe we can crack something together.
If you can, oh my God. I'm like trying
Look,
to
I'm a big
trying.
believer, man,
I'm
in-
trying to gain back like 2-3 hours a day if I can. I'm
Okay,
trying.
Look, I'm a big believer of, we can figure things out.
Yeah, of course, of course. It just
I just need to understand the use case and all these stuff,
sometimes
the
it just
details.
requires a lot of like research before you could actually read something. And like you said, sometimes we just don't have maybe enough tools ready yet for such a thing.
I'm sure I have excellent members in my community, and you probably know, that can actually do a much better job than me, all right, in automating complex stuff.
Could be, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you. Not
So if
could
it's
be.
not
I'm
me,
sure you
I
do.
can definitely ask these members.
Yeah. I should. Bro, there's so much to do. I have so many things to do. I barely have time to like, even with the podcast. Like now, I'm becoming a lot more selective.
Okay.
Because I realize that with business and with personal branding, with a lot of things now, it's just there's so much noise out there that you have to just really like.
By the way, it's not an easy job, man. Like
It's not.
I read a lot of case studies about podcasters and things like this, like because even it's a marketing strategy, opening a podcast for your own brand.
It's not easy.
It's not an easy thing.
It's not. People think it's easy, but it's like first of all, understanding the setup and understanding how it works and having the eye for it. Number one. Number two. Hosting, just being a good conversationalist.
It's not
right.
An easy
like
thing.
keeping up with people much smarter than you, understanding the questions, knowing how to engage this, that, editing. No. I can go on. It's an art.
Man, I can definitely see that. And beautiful work, man. I can definitely see that you put a lot of efforts into
But
your
like
stuff.
I said, because I also do it out of love, right? So it's out of passion. So when you do things out of passion, you tend to really put that extra effort that a lot of people are not willing to.
That's why they say, follow your passion and like in a way work at something that really makes you happy because you don't feel like you're kind of working.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no, 100%. Bro, listen, if I'm not working on the weekends, I'm doing a podcast. And if I'm not doing a podcast, I'm working. Like I do nothing else other than that and just be with family and take care of my health because I realize now that, again, like we said, we are living in such a interesting time that I think we're at a very pivotal moment that now we really have the chance and the opportunity to capitalize on a lot of things and you may miss that train if
I always hear that, man. I created a FOMO that.
Yeah, I'm like
when
you talk about that FOMO, I really feel it, and I feel like people and I feel like you really opened this Founder Connects at such a right time, because with crypto, with AI, with blockchain, with Dubai becoming such an international hub. So much going on.
I know.
So much going on. And I can only imagine how busy you're going to get, even more probably now with just things that are happening and business. I mean, they promised in the D33 economic agenda that they will bring in, or they pledged that they will be able to attract 650 billion dirhams in FDIs over the next 10 years for indirect investments.
Okay.
That's 10 years, that's 60 billion a year almost. That in itself creates 50,000 new jobs, approximately, based on the numbers of last year. That's insane.
That's huge, man. That's huge.
That is huge, but you can see it. Look at the roads. Look at the rent.
Huge, man.
Look at the real estate prices.
Yeah.
It's something's happening.
You know, one thing that I hope cracks here?
What?
The investment culture in pre-seed startups.
You think we're not there yet?
We're not there yet. We do have a lot of potential angel investors.
Yeah.
But look, our community is partners with a couple of other accelerators, and you know, it's great to see these accelerators because they've told me that they're on that mission of educating, you know, people with a lot of money in terms of taking that specific risk. Okay. But this is where, and then I spoke to someone else who's that guy who I said, you know, that's part of a big family here. Okay. He was like, yes, but let's say, assuming that I'm investing, let's say, 10% of my wealth into risky startups, the return on this might be bigger in the States because of that point that you brought up in terms of, you know, having it much harder to exit here.
Yes.
Okay. So, so definitely because you have a lot more startups doing exits in the States because of the market size and all these stuff. But this is where I believe like there's a role to be played by the government in order to really push these people for investments. I'm not gonna tell you the whole I know the whole formula and what should be done, but I do believe that if, you know, there's some kind of incentive structure put for them, okay, I think we'll start seeing a lot more taking that specific risk. Yeah, like if I come and tell you, like in the States, they tell these people, like, I think it was about taxes, all right? If you invest your money in a startup, all right, you kind of, you know, waive it off, you know, your taxes, something like that. Yeah. So that's an incentive.
Yeah. I think we're gonna see that.
We need to figure out an incentive here, which the government essentially has to figure out an incentive. Like if you know, put in 10% of your wealth in early stage startups in our country, all right, we're gonna allow you to waive off X, for instance.
Yeah, they're already not doing it directly, but they're doing a lot of things that will probably eventually lead up to this. Like I know for
that's
a fact,
why I'm telling you, I'm hoping this cracks.
It will. I know, think, like, because, for example, now if you're in crypto, if you're in blockchain, you can automatically get the golden visa. Automatically.
Okay.
Just because you're in that field. And this is not me saying it. This is the I think the GM or the managing director of the blockchain center here. I forgot what it's called, the Dubai Blockchain Center. The guy was like, listen, show me your documents, show me your papers, I'll give you a golden visa on the spot. And it was all like, and you know these crypto boys, they're all like, they're very culty. They're cult, like Solana and this and that. So they're all like in their little groups, and it was at a big event where like the top of the top people were there, like some very big names that I didn't realize how big they are until I was there. He said it in front of everyone, and then you notice how many people, how the amount of people that are willing to move here and relocate, and the ones that actually do want to move and relocate. And some of them have already done that. So I would expect that this would be the natural...
I would expect that too. Because look, as a country, it's giving us a beautiful infrastructure. It's giving us a space to innovate and to be creative. I think we just missed that specific point. And I'm sure, you know, they've been working at it, or they are working at it. But in terms of, if you ask me, what is the missing thing, all right, in the startup world ecosystem here that is in the UAE, we need more investors in early stage.
Yes.
We have plenty in later stages, by the way.
Yeah.
We have plenty.
Yeah.
But we don't have enough in early stage.
Yeah.
And that's why you see
because
a lot
it's the people, it's the stage
It's
that
risky,
most
it's risky.
most investors shy away from.
Yes, it is risky, okay?
Yeah.
But that's why you need some kind of incentive program in order to kind of, incentivize
It probably
it.
requires some government intervention too, or maybe
I'm
it's
saying this, you need
yeah.
the government to apply this.
Yeah, no, I mean like government intervention as in not just, to be clear, maybe also government to put in money too. Maybe in
What is the
some sort of-
incentive? I never thought about what
Yeah.
could potentially be the incentive, but I'm sure, they can come up with a formula, all right,
Exactly.
that kind of, allows
that you achieve specific milestones.
that you achieve
can
specific milestones, like, hey, you have a lot of money. If you put 5%, it doesn't have to be 10%, 5% of your money. Imagine every single person with a lot of money investing 5% in early stage startups. Imagine what the effect that this would have on the economy.
Oh wow.
All right, because look, facts. A lot of startups, they fail because they don't have enough capital to survive.
Yes.
As simple as this.
Yes.
Okay.
And they could be great ideas.
And they could be great ideas. If, they succeed, this means they could hire a lot of people because they're growing. So it does have an impact.
And you know why it makes sense to do it? And please correct me if I'm wrong. Also because the wealth in the hands of, let's say, the top has increased substantially over the years. It's been the biggest transfer of wealth that humans have seen in a very long time.
Yeah.
So they've got a lot more to spare. So if they are incentivized in a positive way,
Yeah.
they would have a lot better risk appetite to do it.
True.
Because a lot of people made a lot of money in the last few years. New economies were created that were non-existent before.
Look, I think, the angel investing or investing in early stage startup, the concept is not as mature for us here, okay? Because like you've said, we always shy away from that specific stage. And number two, the people that have money, all right, the ones that what do they usually invest in?
It's always the safest assets. You know it, I know it.
Real estate.
Real estate, number one.
Okay.
Commodity, like hard proven
Exactly.
commodities.
Exactly. Okay.
Gold, etc.
These are the stuff that they invest in.
Yeah, because they're just
They're
tried
the
and
safest.
tested, and they've been around for
Yes.
hundreds of years.
And that's the mature mental understanding, all right, that we have about investing. Even here, even your parents would come and tell you, hey, you have money, invest in a house.
Yes.
They never come and tell you, you have money, invest in startups.
Yeah.
So we have that mentality here, all right,
Yeah.
about investing our money in safe assets. So that's what they're trying to change right now on an educational front. What they're trying to tell these people with money, we're not telling them invest all your money. We're just saying invest a very small percentage.
Yeah.
But then they have another point, a very good point. Fine, if you want me to invest this very small percentage, why should I invest it here when I have a much bigger return somewhere else? That's what we need to figure out. And we need the government.
That's the disconnect that you need to
Yes,
solve.
and we need the government to be on board with us in order to figure it out, because we can't figure it out alone.
And you think you have that problem with your. You can see that problem with your
all
founders.
startups. Yes, man, with all startups. There's a huge problem in early stage investments, okay? And because we need the government, interfering, because I believe, all right.
Have you had a conversation with anyone from the?
Oh, I have this conversation with a lot of people. A lot of people.
In the government here.
Yes, actually, this person is in the government, but it's just about talking more about it and trying. I never had it in the form of officially speaking to a government about this.
Yeah.
It was just between me and another friend.
Yeah.
Okay. It just happened that he works at one of these government entities, but yeah, I think it's just adding an incentive could.
I mean, that's what builds nations, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's the homegrown companies that where you own your own research development, you own the assets, you own the actual company, you own the whole all of the resources in the actual entity. You don't have to rely so much on importing goods or talent or services or this and that. You want to be able to move from a consuming economy to a productive one, to one that can export more than it can import.
You know that feeling that you get whenever you go, like if you're part of a circle or you know, a part of a group or whatever it is, and then you have that specific trust towards that specific circle that, you know what, they're going to make it happen, if not today, maybe a couple of years down the line.
1000%.
Like I have that kind of trust that, you know, they will eventually look at that or even try to find a solution for this.
Yes.
Okay. So I have that trust, you know, that the UAE will
because
eventually...
it's a national security thing also. I think you want to be able to become a nation that can be reliant on companies, on local companies, and also export, right?
Yeah, definitely. By the way, that's like last time it was so funny that this person told me, yeah, but you don't see a lot of unicorns in the UAE. I was like, yeah, because we're looking at the whole region as just the UAE. No, like let's look at the whole region as the region. Like we cannot compete with the US just by the population that we have in the UAE. We need the whole region's population in order to really to compare apple to apple. So you cannot come and tell me, yeah, but in the US there's plenty of exits versus the UAE. Yeah, obviously. They're, 100 times more in terms of populations.
Yeah, they're 350 million almost.
350. We're more than 4 million here. But let's say we're there 50 times more. Okay? So yes, there's 50 times more chances in terms of doing an exit.
Yeah.
But if we look at the whole region, now we can compare it to the population of to the US. Then yeah, maybe.
Yeah, Noor Suwaid, I'm sure you know her, obviously. She wrote a very interesting book that I bought. I haven't finished it yet, about the potential of this region, the real growing potential and the untapped opportunities that the MENA region has. I think we just require a little bit of stability, and like we were discussing outside just now, I think for the first time in many years, we're starting to see a little bit of a glimpse of it.
Now, obviously, we have, you know, more roadblocks in terms of exporting something to, you know, another country in terms of different cultures, different mentality. And, you know, it might be a little bit harder than just going, you know, wide nation in the US, although they still have different cultures in the US. Like you cannot say that, like, you know, the people in Texas are exactly the same as the people in California. All right. They still have as well, you know, but the difference is not as big.
But this is what I always say. We are so blessed to be at the crossroad of continents and trade routes and nationalities, and it's just a melting pot, right? So you're
in Dubai. But again, you're focusing. You're refocusing.
No. The reason why I say this is that's exactly what the point I was trying to make is to support your point, is that because we're so central, so we could serve everyone. This is what I was trying to say. You could serve everyone, east and west, and even time zone wise, you are really in the center. So you are grabbing both time zones from the east and the west, as opposed to being a freaking Alaska, for example, or West Coast in the US, where the other side of the world is the complete opposite. So you barely have time to do business together.
No, I think, you know, they're in a very good position, and I think, you know, that circle that you kind of trust, they will actually work towards it, and or they have this in mind. I have this feeling, I have this trust.
Yeah, I mean, you've been here long enough to
I've been here long enough and to witness the growth that you know happened here. But yeah, we do have a problem at the end of the day in terms of having more investors for early stage startups. And I'm not telling you that that eventually, I'm not telling you that you know, if we do get more investments, it's a guaranteed success, but it's a bigger potential.
Right.
All right. So it's a higher potential of success.
Right.
There's nothing guaranteed at the end of the day, but it just gives us another chance in order to hopefully that startup that was about to die. Do you know how many startups in the States, man? They died just because of great startups, but they just, don't have enough runway anymore.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great startups. They just died.
And bro, like, you know it, even us as human beings, and especially as men, we reach burnout. We reach burnout, and sometimes much sooner than we think. Because like you said, it's not a walk in the park.
Especially these 3 years, especially when COVID started, and there's a lot of stuff that changed, man.
It's everything changed.
It wasn't an easy journey, man. A lot of stuff changed, man.
Yeah, if you even as a business owner, especially ones that's directly affected by that, if you've survived that period, you're pretty thick-skinned, and you're pretty well, let's say, well established, because I know a lot of companies that closed down.
Definitely. I know billion-dollar companies that closed down. Billion-dollar companies that actually close down, or startups, or you want to call them startups? Which one?
Bro, your definition of startup and mine is it's just never gonna. We're never gonna agree on this.
Yeah, look, it's a very hard period that we all went through, man. It's not an easy
there's so much to talk about. We can go on for hours, but this.
How long have we?
2 hours now.
2 hours.
And
wow,
by the way, I haven't even covered 15 or 20% of the questions, but I think it just goes to show how much there is really to talk about.
There's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot. So I think maybe we should probably phase it out so that people don't get too bored, because I highly doubt people are gonna watch 2 hours. I know myself, I never watch 2 hours. So
let's see how it goes then. Let's see how it goes.
But thank you so much for coming. I really, really appreciate what you're doing. Is great. And
man, thanks a lot for having me here.
I think you're really doing a great service to a lot of people, and I don't think you appreciate how much of a positive impact you're having on a lot of people. Trust me, I hear it from so many different members. So
I really appreciate it, man. Really, I appreciate it.
Thanks you so much. Next time, inshallah.